Hey, what's up, everybody? It is Sunday, May 7th, 2023, and welcome to a brand new episode of the Now Mind You podcast. This is episode 68, Manga. There will be some spoilers up ahead, but without further ado, I'm TJ.
I'm Matt, and I'm Bryce. No, I'm
Oh my, okay, he's playing, but like, we gotta admit, y'all, that's a pretty fucking spot on Bryce impression.
man.
Like, down to like the way like Bryce is like the voice modulate. Anyway, Bryce, I want you to listen to this and you give that a grade because I'm like, nigga, that's you. Anyway, in terms of announcements, we got we're gonna start throwing up some of the podcast episodes on YouTube. One of our homies hit us up on the Instagram, was like, hey, I'm not seeing this on YouTube. I was like, you know what? We don't usually put them up on YouTube, but we're gonna start, especially since it looks like YouTube is trying to cater to podcasts, even though podcasts have been on YouTube for ages. They're really making an effort for it, so we might as well get in on that. But that's in terms of announcements. We have a super thin docket for you today, but it'll still be entertaining and informational as always. We got Sakamoto Days and we got My Hero Academia. Then, of course, we'll talk about our favorite chapter this week, not necessarily pertaining to what we're covering, right? We read a lot of manga. We don't always cover the manga we read on the podcast, but we do be reading. And then we'll go over our topic of the week, which, even though Bryce wasn't here, very good topic of the week: anime cliches that led to
some bullshit.
Again, it's almost like Bryce is with us every time Matt imitates him. Without further ado, let's start with My Hero, and then we can end on a happy note.
Yeah, that's fine. No, you're right.
Like, let's just get
we're gonna switch it up this time. Let's get the anger out the way first.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna start by saying this, and it's like I feel like we had one disclaimer before about this that was just like, I know we keep saying we hate this shit, but then it was like, now the new one is, this was a good chapter, but he did some bullshit again. And like, I gotta say that before I even go into the review, man. So this is chapter 387. Now, if you remember, like I remember, I even, after I started reading this chapter, went back to make sure I wasn't tripping.
Right. Because it was abrupt as fuck.
It was an immediate change. We see a villain with a quirk we have never seen before.
Right.
I want to specify, I've never seen, unless if somebody is listening, or TJ, even if you know Getten, who is this?
I'm not even sure, dude. I'd have to, it'd be one of those, I have to go through the backlog.
The wiki shit.
Yeah.
Motherfucker, like, who is this? So it says this was a person that was part of the paranormal liberation front
with
lieutenant.
Redestro in them.
Yeah, with Redestro in them, and they was talking about the heteromorphs and stuff like that. And Getten is talking to Mr. Compress, which this is like, if I'm not mistaken, maybe the second time ever we've seen Mr. Compress's face, like his
Holy
full face.
You the nigga with the mask?
Yeah.
Who lost the arm or whatever that one time?
Yeah, that's Mr. Compress.
No way.
Yeah.
No fucking way.
Yeah, this probably,
that should tell you how long it's been since I've seen dude.
Like, yeah, we never see his face. I think we've seen his face like once or twice, but he had like a ski mask on.
Right.
When they took the mask off him.
He was kind of a joke, low key.
Somewhat until
the shit went
until
down.
He compressed Bakugo ass.
Right.
And then put him in his pocket. And then wasn't shit funny then.
Yeah.
Motherfucker pull out a marble and a car pop out that bitch. He said, Hank Pym who? Fuck.
Oh my god.
But at any rate, so they're talking about the heteromorphs, and they're talking about like family lineage and how like initially quirks weren't really a thing, and then when people had quirks, they were like started to seek out other people that had quirks in an effort to make like super kids, basically.
Right.
Which is what led us to the other half of this chapter, where we zone hop and we zone hop to Endeavor and Dobby. Dobby is completely like, I what I like to call, he's in like feral fire mode. Like he's not there. It's just him. Like he pretty much, his insanity is the only thing literally keeping his body together.
This is like his blackout rage mode or whatever.
Yeah, 100%. It's like, because he's right on death's door, his power is peaking out, like right at the end. So he's essentially, as they already established, I think 1 or 2 chapters ago, This motherfucker is essentially a running bomb. Like he's like a radiation bomb, basically.
Yeah.
And Endeavor goes to intercept him, and Endeavor even comments that Dobby's flames are so hot they're burning him.
Yeah.
Like he's being burned. And the flames, by all rights, should have completely taken Dobby's body apart, but they haven't. And he, Endeavor comes to the realization as to why that is. And they do a bunch of like really kind of emotional and important like panels, like as Endeavor virtually is seeing Dobby as a child, as opposed to seeing him as the, pretty much the monster he turned him into.
Right.
And that I kind of say that with an asterisk next to it, because you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Nature, nurture, and all that shit. And we already know there were other things at play that pushed Dobby this far, and it wasn't all Endeavor. He got a big part, but it ain't all him.
He's not innocent.
He ain't innocent in this, and he isn't innocent in this Endeavor. Haha.
Oh my God.
Anyway. So as the battle's continuing, he's like, all right, I'm not gonna be able to fly Dobby off in enough time where it like, you know what I'm saying, it won't affect other people. So he decides he's gonna fly directly up. So after he catches Dobby, he just pulls him close to him and immediately starts to jet his way up. And as he's jetting his way up, one of his other children, Ray, with if I'm not mistaken, I believe she has ice powers, but it's kind of hard to tell with all the black and white and the flame. And obviously if you see the manga and you see the panel, you know exactly what I mean. But I think she's one of the kids that had the ice, and it looks like she's trying
one of the failures.
Right, one of the quote unquote failures. She's being burned by even being this close, but she still is staying stoic and attempting to, it looks like, help. And then there's a panel at the very bottom that says, you're guilty too, Mom, showing one of the other kids. And I don't know if that one was Dobby or which of his children that was, but it's a real interesting way to leave the chapter. Now, the chapter was not bad, but why in the fuck did we zone hop from something that was like a literal, I don't want to say earth-shattering thing, but like you cannot honeypot us with young All For One running up on what looks like extremist suit All Might. Like, you know what I'm saying? What's going on right now?
I know.
Pull us out of that to take us to something else, which again is not, it's not that it's not important, but he keeps getting us right to these crucial points and it's like zone hop. No. Right. You can't set up a set piece that monumental and then jump away. Right. If you were going to do that, you could have just shown that he was on the path of All Might. Don't show that these motherfuckers done locked eyes and he trying to put his battleizer on before he basically get foo-fopped. You know what I'm saying? What the fuck, man? But that's I'm so conflicted. Like Horikoshi keep putting us, we was talking about this before we even got on the show, this toxic ass relationship we got with this manga. Like, you giving us these good chapters, but it's bullshit at the same time. Cause like you can't tell a story like this. You can't keep getting away with this, Horikoshi. God damn it.
This is almost becoming a cautionary tale.
Man.
Any future mangakas or comic book artists or authors, take heed. Take heed.
Don't zone hop, man.
Don't do this shit. It's not fun.
Yeah, man. That's my thoughts on it. I'm gonna pass it back to you, TJ.
I'm gonna keep it 100 and keep the rage going. We're not diminishing this. Like literally at the top of my notes, I was like, Kohei. You still picked the worst times to zone hop. You left us at All Might about to put on the suitcase armor. I was fully invested in this. The showdown to end all showdowns. We were on some like Optimus Prime versus Megatron on some one shall stand, one shall fall energy, right? He had to zone hop to this episode of All My Todorokis, which again, being completely honest, like Matt said, and I'm gonna echo him, it wasn't a bad chapter, but it's not what I was waiting for. I was like, yo, All Might about to transform into Optimus. It's about to go down. Maybe we get a flashback to when they first fought and he like punched off All For One's face. Maybe we finally see what the fuck happened there, and
he why probably he like, you remember what the other half of my face looked like, nigga?
He's like, remember what I did to you? You and Ryan Garcia have something in common. You know what I'm saying? Whatever. But
what if All Might was like, I'm finna do the other side of your shit like that before you died? Like, damn. I'm finna knock your face off again, motherfucker.
Just
What if the machine that he's using is what took his face off the first time?
That's why Alfred one is so pressed. He's like, nah, I ain't letting
Nah,
this
not
nigga
this
transform.
time.
Nah, I ain't waiting for you to morph, nigga. We finna go now. Like,
Now.
it's more of bam. Like, it's just like, there is a protocol to this. You can't just be shooting niggas while they morphing. Anyway, sorry, that was a funny digression. That being said, Toya had ice powers the whole time. Like, part of me thinks like, man, maybe the whole Todoroki like lineage timeline could have been much happier, but probably not, because look at what he had to do in order to activate them shits, man. Like, in order to activate them Johns, he basically had to put himself to that point where, yeah, he's gonna die. Like, he's burning the candle at both ends right now. He's not mentally present. Like, the juice wouldn't be worth the squeeze.
At this point, he's just the flame. They like, where's the wick even?
It's
like,
just
there's
rage.
nothing.
It's just rage and flames, right? I don't know why, but the flashbacks mid-battle to, dad, look what I can do. And it's like child Todoroki. It made me think of what Fujimoto did when Aki Hayakawa got taken over by the gun devil, and he was fighting Denji, but he kind of masked it with the snowball fight with his sibling. And it's like, yeah, we know what went down here. It gave me those vibes, which is like another reason why I'm just like, Shoto, you might be down 2 family members by the end of this arc.
For
real. Maybe 3, because apparently his sister, who I thought it was his mom. I forgot he had a sister with white hair. but I mean, if his sister joined the fight too, it's like, things ain't looking too good for the Todoroki family. But yeah, man, Toya burning so hot, Dabi burning so hot that Endeavor's getting burnt to a crisp. Like, the Todorokis just remind me of the Skywalker family, and that there's a lot of tragedy in that side of the galaxy, bro.
Facts.
And like, Endeavor, bro, it's like this nigga just, I mean, I get karma, but like, damn, bro, like every time you tussle with a villain who's like remotely associated with your family in some way, shape, or form, you lose a part of your body, right? Like, think about it. He didn't have that big ass scar on his face initially, right? Now he lost an arm. Now it's like his whole face is getting burnt to a crisp. It's like, yeah, bro, like, if you survive this endeavor, I'm just like,
man. I don't know what's about to happen, because we know Todoroki is on his way there too.
Right, but I think it's just to bear witness, if you feel my drift.
I do.
Like, because
Goku! One of them.
Yeah, unfortunately. He's like, or what if he's just like cold blooded? I mean, yeah, he was a trash dad, so I think the world's better off. Like, what?
Damn,
what if he was like
he's strong as hell.
Like, what if that's his reaction? It's like, honestly, we're better off without him. That'd be wild.
You ain't all the way wrong. That's just like tough. You know what I'm saying?
Like, hey, you need therapy, dog? Like, you want to talk about it? Clearly, there's a lot to unpack here. But yeah, those are my thoughts on My Hero. It's like, yeah, you summed it up. We got a toxic relationship with Kohei Horikoshi. The man just, I feel like Zone Hops, it's the last remnants of a bygone era, right? Like, there was an era in anime and manga where that was the thing to do. That was the way to tell stories. But I think that My Hero might be the last of that generation. I think One Piece is hella guilty of it too. But you know what? I feel like One Piece is the exception to the rule. I'm gonna leave One Piece alone, but I'm gonna just say it's like, that ain't the way to tell stories now. Like, if you're trying to, make episodes and extend that shit for a long time because you got like merchandising or whatever, trying to sell toys or whatever, okay, cool, I guess. But I don't think that's the wave now. Like, you can't just be zone hopping for no reason. But that's it. I got nothing to add. It was a good chapter. It just pissed me off. uh, which I know is like a weird thing
Yeah.
to say, but like it's what
I
it
mean,
is.
it's the only way to describe it.
Right.
You
With
want to go
that,
into our next one?
oh, you want to be in a better mood, a little lighthearted, quote unquote.
Absolutely.
Let's
If
go
if
into
you call that lighthearted,
right,
you
right.
can.
That's why I said quote unquote, right? Sakamoto Days. We're going into chapter 117, titled "Kill Without Moving." All right, let me tell you something, Matt. I was doing. This is like basically my summary. Well, let's start off with where we left off, right? Young Sakamoto throwing a whole car on a nigga and then asks the owner for a ride back. Ridiculous. This whole flashback arc has been one, like each chapter one upping the previous one. I will say that.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if I were to summarize this, I already knew from the title of the chapter, Kill Without Moving, that things are going to be ridiculous. And it kind of was that, but it was also really fucking good. Now, all right, let me get into the review. At this point in the apparent highlight reel of this young Team 7, Sakamoto might be on par with Saitama from One Punch Man. Yeah, I'm surprised I said that too. But we all read the same chapter, yo. Like, that's some Saitama level bullshit to end the chapter on. I know I'm jumping too far ahead, but like reaching from one level below, pulling dude through the floor and collapsing it in the process,
Come on.
shit. Right? Also, Nagamo is 100% the Shikamaru of the series, and I want to see him get a flashback box set or a spin-off.
Mm-hmm.
At this point, I'm because they said his whole family is spies, and he decided to do the assassin course because he thought it'd be more fun. So I'm like, what was his upbringing like? Why has he always got
That's
that
why he's such
smile
a
on?
master of disguise. That's why his
Right,
ass always knows something, because he
right,
probably really do always know something.
right. So it's
He
like
was taught to be nosy.
I want to know like what his upbringing was like, and if the smile is just a mask. You feel me? Because
Nagumo was
usually
taught to
those
be
types of
sneaky, but he
characters,
wanted to be
right?
a killer.
Usually those types of characters have a tragic background. Damn, man,
Always.
he thought being a killer was the better alternative.
And he was like,
Shit.
that sneaky shit cool, but when y'all get your hands dirty,
Oh my goodness.
oh, you don't.
Was I born in the wrong family? Probably. Now the fact that homie who just is the smoke responded with maybe, but was screaming internally when he figured out they figured out his trick to his poison. That shit had me crying because he's just like maybe, and it's like ah! like they fucking figured it out. Shit.
Man, quick.
Right? Uzuki is still on grime time though. And he has no choice. If not, his quote unquote older brother is gonna murk Gaku back at 511 Kinderheim. Shout out Matt, shout out Bryce. Bryce, you understand that reference now, or at least I think you should be
Oh,
at
he'll
that point.
definitely get it.
Yeah. That being said, thanks to his heart racing at the thought of him taking out King Daka, we learned that any type of movement / activity, even the heartbeat, can accelerate the effects of this poison. We got to give a shout out and an RIP to those rats. They were the real MVPs. Allowed Nagamo to put two and two together. Shout out to the rat in Endgame who brought Ant-Man back from the quantum realm. But I digress. The wheel. This is where we get into the ridiculousness. The wheelchair and the grenade. Now I know Kindaka's back goes out on him, so I assume that's why the wheelchair was there. The grenade, hey, this is the assassin game, is what it is. Tell me why them setting that shit up looked like when Agent J accidentally hit the turbo boost for the first time in the MIB squad car. Tell me why it looked like that. Like them going upside down in the tunnel and shit, Matt. Tell me, Matt.
It did.
Tell me.
It looked exactly like that taking off.
This shit is going to look crazy animated. Don't worry, I'll bring that back up. Now, also, a cow using the recoil of the pistol, right, to drive that blade further into stab. That was crazy. Oh, but wait, there's more. Crazier, causing the blade to ricochet in midair by shooting at it, and then it nicks the dude inside his neck. Only reason she didn't finish the job, she ran out of bullets, right? Then Nagamo was like, I got you, sis. And then Sakamoto was like, oh, I'm here, right? He basically had the all might like from below.
Yeah, for
right?
real.
But
she was like, took you long enough, huh?
Right. She was like, how did she even detect him though? That's the thing I don't get.
Vision.
She might really have some type of shotting gun though. Like
yeah.
her eyesight is different, bro. Team 7 really is them. They are them. This whole flashback arc is like the they are them moment, right?
It's one of those where it's like when somebody tell you how they really was like that when they was younger, but it's actually the truth.
Right.
Like, oh my God.
Like, turns out they were fucking underselling it too. They you know what I mean? Like
and they was like, no, we was real nasty with it, bro.
Like, yeah, like this is ridiculous, bro. They're untouchable. Bro, Kindaka isn't even really much of a help at this point. The dude's low-key a liability now, right? With the poison and whatnot.
Back hurting shit.
Back is hurting. Like they're basically carrying the whole team on their back. Now, onto the more important things though. Where's my anime announcement? We're 117 chapters in this whole dude. Yuto Suzuki was good. I'm anxious though, because it looks like the plot to assassinate the director of the JA is advancing even a little bit, right? And I'm still nervous, like, yo, is this the event where it's like R.I.P. Akao? Or is the mission going to complete? We get a time skip and something happens, because it looks like everything is converging on this event low key. It's making me nervous. Great chapter as always. I'm gonna pass the mic over to Matt. What'd you think, man?
I actually thought this shit was crazy. Throwing this fucking grenade, using a grenade to catapult yourself in a wheelchair because you can't move, and then
that's a lot of assumptions you're making about how the grenade will interact with that wheelchair, right? Like...
Exactly. And then getting to the point where you're directly above them and you dive, you allow yourself to fall down. And when he says, oh, well, you're using your regular weight to fall, you shoot your gun so you can use the recoil from your gun to propel yourself further to throw off the timing of him trying to block. And when I read the shit, I was like, how the fuck does he keep coming up with these ridiculous ass? Like,
it's almost genius.
Like, I want to know who the fuck, where does Yuto Suzuki get these ideas?
I'm just hearing you short circuit right now.
Yeah, like I just, as I was reading, I just couldn't believe it. Could not believe it. I thought it was cool when Izuki did like the neck chop thing, because I was like, damn, he just killed Shorty on the spot. He was like, no, I just put them to sleep. Because at first I was just like, bro just said, damn, that's now or never for real, and really just turned, just like
went full heel.
Yeah, he just made a full turn with no hesitation. Yeah, man, this chapter was fucking crazy. And then a cow gets to the end and she just starts lighting her cigarette. And he's like, you just gonna chill in a situation like, yeah, I'm gonna chill in a situation like this. We won. Shit. Fuck. And like she was relieved. That was a relief cigarette. She was like, I'm glad this shit over with.
You're right.
A hand just first of all, what fear could that man have felt? Can you imagine? Can you imagine standing in a tunnel? You know for a fact it's at least, at bare minimum, TJ, it's at least 6 feet of concrete under your feet. And a hand, you don't hear a sound, no rumbling, nothing. You just feel a hand grab the shit out your ankle and snatch you through the floor so hard that it pretty much creates a crater. Now, and you also even look in this damn hole, there's metal support beams in this.
Yeah.
He snatched him straight through the bottom and was like, yo, is the air bad in here? Yeah, it's poison.
Yeah, damn, that's crazy. Anyway.
As she's smoking a cigarette. It's like, right. And you already know he's about to make like the shortest work of this nigga. So sorry to that, man.
I'm just like, I don't even know, man.
Yeah.
I don't even know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And if you read the chapter, you understand.
Yeah, it's like I don't even know. I can and I can't. I'll just leave it at that. I can and I can't.
You want to hop into this topic of the week?
Let's do our favorite chapter this week.
Oh yeah. Well, slim pickings.
You can also do some that wasn't in our regular reviews. It could be like something you read, right? Outside of what we usually review.
I guess that's true. I'm really starting to I'm really starting to get into this new manga. Literally it's 3 chapters in called Kill Blue. Essentially it's not necessarily isekai, but it's almost like a Detective Conan situation, except this guy's was an assassin. He's turned into a grammar school kid essentially, and
Mm.
he is then tasked with surveying the school so that his boss's kid can start going to the school. But he also now has to like not murder people
Mm.
and stuff like that. And the other thing is he's literally never been to school his whole life. So school as a general thing is a brand new experience for him.
Right.
And it's so overwhelming because he's getting all this fulfillment from it because he's never experienced it. Like he was like the joy of learning was like overwhelming him. So if I had to call one, I would just say, even though I just gave that long ass explanation, Sakamoto Days was crazy as hell. So
Yeah.
when I meant it was slim pickings, it was nothing better than Sakamoto Days that came out.
Yeah. For me, Mashal has been pretty wild. If you guys are up to date with Mashal, the latest
Mhm.
chapter was fucking hilarious. Just the way Mashal thinks, like, this dude is mid battle with essentially the final antagonist of the series, and
Mhm.
he does something. He thinks he killed dude, which he clearly has not. He thinks he killed dude. Everybody's like, yo, Mashal, did you kill the dude? He in his head, he's already seen himself being hauled over or hauled off in cuffs. And the first thing he's thinking about doing in the background is just digging a hole for the body and trying to find the evidence, bro. Mashal's like wild as hell.
Yeah,
If you
Mashal was great.
it's like Harry Potter meets One Punch Man. And I'm telling you, that is an apt description. Um, but one of my favorite chapters, like I just finished rereading all of Slam Dunk. I fucking love that series, man. It's like
Yeah.
my it's gotta be in my top 10. It's Takehiko Inoue, the same dude who did Vagabond. So artwork
Mhm.
is crisp. It gets you like it
It's
puts
really
you into
wild
the
that
mood.
the same person that did
I
Vagabond did
know.
Slam Dunk. That's
I
such a
know.
crazy
Slam
jump.
Dunk was his first like major one too. But yeah, bro. Yeah. I'll say Mashal. Sakamoto was good. I I can't give anything to My Hero because well, you heard it.
Mhm.
But yeah, and then a new chapter of Versus dropped this week. Versus is that new manga by author
Mm.
One Punch Man. It's a
Mhm.
good concept. It's like flipping isekai on its head, right? Um, if I were to give a brief summary, it's like the primary protagonist, that world, straight up isekai, right? It's them. Humanity has dwindled down to like a few leftovers. They've raised up their strongest heroes to fight this demon horde, and there's like this vast network of demon hordes, and they're basically trying to eradicate humanity. So humanity is like down to its like last few remnants, just trying to save itself, right?
Mhm.
So you got the warriors, the heroes, and then you got the wizards, right? Meantime, the wizards are trying to prepare a portal where they can like summon heroes from another dimension. Here's the thing. You basically end up, and this isn't necessarily giving out too much because there's only really like 6 chapters of this out.
Mhm.
Um, Basically every parallel world has the same situation where it's the last of humanity versus what the manga calls their natural enemy, an enemy which they cannot defeat. So they all end up summoning each other, and they all end up being summoned into the first world. So the first world ends up kind of being transformed in that it's got elements from all these other worlds. You got like basically a Halo world, you got like a superhero world, you got a regular world, you got a prehistoric like caveman world, you got all these worlds, and they all have the same problem. They can't beat their natural enemy. And therein lies like the flipping of the isekai trope on its head, where it's like,
Mhm.
oh, it's not really isekai so much. It's like, all right, let's see what we can learn from each other, and let's see how we can deal with our respective natural enemies. So if you haven't gotten into that, I recommend it. But the latest chapter was a pretty good one this week. But I digress. I went way too far. It was supposed to be favorite chapter, not what is TJ reading?
Mhm.
But yeah, with that, shall we go into the topic of the week?
Yeah. Our topic of the week this week is what the best the best anime cliche moments that led to some bullshit. I'm gonna let you go first to make sure I'm on track correctly, which was why I wanted Bryce to be sure to do this one since this was his damn topic.
Right.
But I will let you open it up, TJ.
I will. This one's gonna hurt both of us.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm gonna say, without getting too specific, when the secondary protagonist gets a power up that only leads to them getting beat the fuck up and crushing all our hopes and dreams.
Mm-hmm.
Vegeta is the best example. If you guys have been listening to this podcast, you know how hard we stand Vegeta, especially his evolution in Super. But like the last few arcs have been on some bullshit. I feel like he finally got a little bit of redemption in the superhero movie. And I guess we'll see that in the manga since it's kind of rehashing it low key. Well, not even low key, high key. But yeah, man, like Ultra Ego. Before that, he went to Planet Yardrat to fight, to learn how to fight with Moro. But it's like he still takes all these L's and it's just frustrating as hell. It's bullshit. It's bullshit.
It is.
Right?
I got one there.
Go ahead.
So then I followed it correctly then. Cliche anime moments led to some bullshit. Niggas thinking friendship is gonna trump everything. And like
Dio.
not allowing it and like just not seeing any other way. And I think the best example I can give is like, let's look at the long line of bullshit that Sasuke did on some Naruto. Come on back, man. Like we friends.
Down to the very fucking last chapter.
Down to the end of the shit. Where it's like, man, friendship. And he was like, oh, fuck all that friendship shit. I'm finna be Hokage. Like, what? Right. Nigga, we just... Yeah, you gonna have to square up with me, Naruto. Yeah, get them hands up, run them. But friendship, fuck that. That friend, oh my god,
that was peak toxicity. No, like we all know it, we just don't say it that much. But that shit was toxic as hell.
That's all Naruto ass do. Yeah, let's be friends, homie. No, nigga, like you. listen. I'm gonna just say it. In these anime and manga, you just gotta kill these antagonists, man. They got to. What about justice? Fuck
Y'all
that.
need to stop reading Batman. It's no.
Fuck that. Well, why do you think he's unhappy? He got too many ops. All he does is Batman does is every single day he just adds more ops. He just adds more ops to his list. That's all he does. That's why he's not happy. His nigga can't have no peace. He rich and said, "Oh, Batman, he ain't got no hoes. He don't have nothing. Batman can't. He don't sleep at night, bro.
It's true. This is true.
He don't sleep at night because he out here in the streets gaining more ops. That's Batman's power. Op gaining.
Clip this. Anyway. Clip this. Just put it out there. Clip this. That is hilarious. We're clipping this. You good?
No, yeah, I'm straight, man. Straight. I just be getting tired of shit like that. Whatever. Go ahead, man.
I was gonna say this is one you brought up a few times. I mean, it falls into the trope category, but I guess like trope cliche kind of similar.
It's roughly the same.
But the foxy, squinty-eyed characters' eventual betrayal of the protagonist group, right?
Come on, man.
Like we see that shit all the time. Another one I got, fan service clumsiness that either serves no purpose or makes that fan servicey character a huge fucking liability.
Oh, you mean fan service that serves no purpose, like temporarily giving Bakugo one for all?
Yeah.
Did you mean like that? And then saying it was just a miracle that he had it temporarily, but so he's not going to keep it? It's gone?
I wasn't going to that route, but it seems like you want me to, so yeah. Let's go
that way.
Yeah, that way. But yeah, that's all I had for the topic of the week, man.
I'm going to tell you another one.
Go ahead.
Another anime cliche to lead to some bullshit. Best boy. Every time it's a good month, something bad always got to happen to the purest people in series. Why? Why does got to happen?
I don't like where this conversation said it. Please.
I'm not gonna go there. I'm gonna give a different example. Like Shaman King, Morty. You got shit like that. Deku, little dumbass, always trying to be positive and shit. Damn. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like it's always the innocent characters, like the most earnest, or like we ain't gonna talk
through the most.
All I'm gonna say is brotherhood, pure
Right.
characters, brotherhood. I'm gonna leave it at that. We ain't gonna go into them details. It's raining today. You feel
Right.
me? And if you know, you know. If you know, you know.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, so that's where I'm at with it. You got anything else you want to add, TJ?
Well, no, bro, I'm kind of down now. Like I'm
Sorry.
thinking back to that. See, it's raining outside. No, it isn't. Yes, it is. I'm just like, shit. Take us out of here.
All right, man. So next week, I'm gonna be honest with y'all, our manga still kind of thin.
It's not great. They're taking their break seriously.
Everybody is taking a serious break. And you know what? The way these mangakas be dropping left and right, I'm not even mad at it. Like,
yeah, that's fair.
I'm not even saying that shit to be funny. Like, take your break
true.
if that's what you're gonna have to do. From what I understand, though, we will still be getting Chainsaw Man next week. We will also be covering Sakamoto Days, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
Yes, we will be covering Sakamoto Days. And is Jujutsu back? Yep. Jujutsu
Yeah, it should
Kaisen
be back.
and My Hero. So we will still be without. Oh, no. I lied to y'all. We're going to have a pretty thick one. The only thing we're not going to have next week is Super, pretty much, because we're getting Kaiju, My Hero, Jujutsu Kaisen, Sakamoto Days, and Chainsaw Man.
Ippo's still not back.
Yeah.
For a little bit.
Has another, it's
like just a week or two.
Yeah, it's like a 2-week thing. So. Yeah. But with that, this has been another episode of the Now Mind You podcast. Thank you guys so much for checking us out and rocking with us still. You can find me on social media at Matt Hambrick. That's MATTHAMBRIC. Where can they find you, TJ?
Hey, you guys can find me on Instagram at Tuss4skate. That's TUSS4_SKATE. And y'all can find Bryce on Instagram at Ashe_Onta. That's AXE_ONCA.
Hey, baby.
It's fucking spot on.
You can find us at Now Mind You Podcast, wherever you like to get your social media and wherever you like to get your podcast. We will see you guys next week, or we will see you guys over in the combat episode. Peace out. Be safe.
Peace.